Hello and welcome to the third and final training video in how to use DAMS phase 3 functionality. In this training video we're going to look at how to resolve missing information and then how to submit your file for loading. So as we saw in the previous training video, in the file we're trying to submit we actually have one missing episode, one missing modality and one missing client. And the client record itself has these greyed out records beneath it, so we know that this missing client record has one associated episode and one associated modality of treatment. So how we resolve these issues is by clicking on Resolve, and you'll have the choice of 4 different options in how to resolve this missing information. So the first option is to exclude. If you pick exclude, you're basically saying that you're not sure whether the information you've previously submitted is correct or not. And what this will do is NDTMS will then flag that and not use it for official performance figures, but it will ask you next month to resolve the missing information again. So it gives you extra time to look into it. The next option is include. If you pick include, this means that you're sure that this record is correct and it should be included in official performance figures. You need to be wary of picking this one in a way. If you do pick include, that's fine, NDTMS won't ask you again next month, but you should really investigate why this record isn't coming out in your submission to us. The next option is delete. If you pick delete, for whatever reason you've submitted this record in the past in error and you want to delete it from the NDTMS database. And the final option is replace. So if DAMS phase 3 finds a similar record in your submission file, it will present this as an option for you to replace. So for this one, we have a missing episode, the details here, client details, type of mismatch is an episode, here's your agency code, referral date, triage date, discharge date, reason. There's no associated information with this one. And you'll see in the replace option, it's actually found information in the file that seems to be similar to what was submitted before. As we can actually see, and what I know, is that I've changed the referral date. So I've changed the referral date from the 1st of June 2010 to the 30th of the 5th, 2010. So if you go away, you check in your system that this is correct, and that this is a change you want to make. And if that's the case, you can select replace, which I will here, and then click on the tick to save this resolution, or I can cancel by clicking on the cross. Now I know that's correct, I know I've changed the referral date, I'm quite happy that that is correct, so I'm going to save that. And you'll see that it has now indicated that I've chosen to replace that. So moving on, we're going to resolve the missing modality this time. Click on resolve. Again, the options are the same. Here it's saying it's a modality level mismatch, client details there, type of mismatch, and the key dates. So here we have specialist prescribing, the first modality date of 1st and 2nd 2011. In the options, again, DAMS phase 3 has found a similar record in my file, so it's asking me if I want to replace it with that. So what I've done here is, in NDTMS, previously I've submitted specialist prescribing as a modality. In the file that's coming in, it's actually GP prescribing. And I checked my clinical system, I now know that yes, I'd incorrectly recorded the modality as specialist prescribing. I've changed it to GP prescribing. I'm happy that that is a sufficient replace option, and I would like the GP prescribing modality to replace the previously submitted specialist prescribing modality. So tick the option, then click on save. Again, It's indicated that I've chose to replace that record. So the final mismatch I have to deal with in this example is the missing client. So I'm going to click on Resolve. So here we have missing information resolution client. Here's the client information. This time, in the replace option, it's actually saying there is no similar records found. So this client record is not coming through in the submission, nor is there a similar one that's coming through in the submission. If I had changed one of the initials, the date of birth or the sex, then this would then indicate that there was a valid record that maybe I could replace it with. So I'd have to go and investigate why this record isn't coming out in my submission. If we imagine I have checked that and I've realised that this client shouldn't have been submitted to NDTMS. Maybe they are a tier 2 client, maybe they've withdrawn their consent, or maybe they actually DNA'd their triage and I should have never submitted that record to NDTMS in the first place. So in this instance, I'm going to pick delete as an option. I don't want this client record to persist on the NDTMS database. Going to click save, and there we go. So I've chose to replace the missing episode, replace the missing modality, and delete this missing client. Because I've now resolved all the missing information, you'll see that the Submit File for Loading button is now not greyed out. Also, I can click on the Summary of Actions Requested, and this will produce a file for use as an audit trail of all the actions I have chosen to take. And that's it. That concludes the training videos for DAMS Phase 3.